Hello, welcome to day 10. Today is Sunday for me. It's the second day of my very intentional relaxation to try and get my body back into feeling good. It's working, not exactly as I planned, but it is working. What I've noticed is I feel fine. There's the uncomfortable feelings that I've had are completely gone. No kind of weird feeling in my stomach. My body feels great. A lot of rushing and activity in my head, but we talked about that yesterday. And I'll talk about that again today. The only other thing is that my energy level is down all the way. Getting up to get a drink or go to the bathroom or whatever is hard. I don't want to. I did my journaling today. It was thankfully kind of short, but overall, it was kind of hard work. So have a nice fire going in the house, and me and the recliner have been good friends. Put my headphones on, listen to some good music, and it's Sunday, so I don't feel too obligated to get up and be productive. So it's much easier to relax. But for whatever reason, my body is just chilling today. I'm going to let it do that. I'm going to accept that and not worry about it or fight it. And especially given my experience in the past of overexerting and making the fast hell, the objective here is to let my body do its thing, and then I'll get back to that hopefully wonderful stage where energy comes back and I feel normal. Heart rate variability has been down in the teens to 20s, which is about as low as it's ever gone all day. Heart rate itself is in the 60s again, and my weight loss has been averaging a little over 1.5 pounds per day. Some days it pushes 2 for the last week or so. That's got to be pure fat at this point in the fast, which means I'm a 6 foot, very strongly built man who's doing virtually nothing activity-wise, but is burning 4,000 to 6,000 calories a day. Yeah, my body's working. I don't have that energy to use myself, but it's obvious my body is cranking. Took some real motivation to get myself out here to do the video because I had to move and shower and all that stuff that goes with that. But I did it. So that's how I'm feeling. I don't feel bad. I feel great. Just it's hard to describe. I don't feel tired. It's just that my energy is very shallow. I have energy to move and function and think, but as soon as I actually get up, there's just nothing there. The energy is all obviously going somewhere else. So hoping and praying that that is not a long-term thing. Yesterday, mentioned a little bit about brain health and development. As part of my research and journaling, I looked into the symptoms of withdrawal, drug and really addiction withdrawal. Everything I've ever read, the books and the articles and all that, the symptoms of withdrawal are ultimately the same, from food to cocaine to sex to gambling to all that good stuff. So it's nothing particularly divergent between the different addictions. The fact is that the brain works the same way in terms of how it works, how it wires addiction. I have my primary, number one by far, addiction is going to be food. For various reasons that aren't really worth getting into here, I started eating the standard American diet and highly processed foods and learning the intricacies of effectively abusing food from probably 4 or 5 years old on. So I've got 41 years of practice over that. And I'm good at it. That means that those pathways are thoroughly wired into my brain. So why I bring this up is I had some supportive experiences last night. I think I mentioned I had a dream 2 nights ago that I accidentally broke my fast. Well, I had 2 more last night and they were vivid. I can still remember them late in the next day. Very strange for me, unusual. The first one was just a couple of hours after I went to sleep and I was tired. really feeling very fatigued all the way through. I was in my dad's old restaurant, and there was an ice cream machine, and I had like a large size of those cheap yellowish cones, and I made myself an ice cream cone, basically just packing it as big as I possibly could. Nobody was there up front with me, and I enjoyed the entire thing. And I specifically remember eating the cone and how awesome that was. And then after I'd enjoyed that, I remembered, oh dang, I was fasting. Oops, I broke it. End of dream. So that first dream, in a more taxed state, yeah, I broke the fast. I still feel like I broke the fast, actually. It was so real. And then I woke up around 7. I laid down, went back to sleep for not very long, and had another very similar dream where I was in, I think, Seattle, and I stopped by some kind of faceless takeout restaurant. And they gave me a grocery bag full of food, and I went to the local IMAX to watch a movie. Why not? And aside from a full bag of carrots and celery, which was in the bag, it was loaded with tacos and other kinds of Mexican food, which I like a lot. And I remember taking the veggies out, and I got a hard shell taco made just my way, good one, and took a bite and remembered, oh, I'm fasting, and I spit it out. But I didn't actually eat anything. So the first and the second dream were distinctly different. I was feeling very well rested the second time through. So that was definitely a change. And it's interesting how my brain is only beginning to dream about food on days 9 and 10. Given what I know about how when you're trying to create a habit or break an addiction or such, it takes 21 days for the brain on average to unwire pathways and rewire new ones. And especially given that these pathways are so well entrenched, I could see that my body's really working for that. I'm halfway through the process. I have no physical signs of hunger at all, but my mind is just now really going to town on that addiction. And those dreams were intense and obvious manifestations that this is a rewiring process going on in my brain. And one thing that I've noticed this morning is my anxiety level, like that background anxiety level for no particular reason, the kind that I can breathe through but I can't quite identify, is, as far as I can tell, gone. It's like my brain broke through a barrier last night. And that feels really good. I'm exhausted. Maybe it was a lot of work, but clearly that's progress. So definitely good news. I'm going to end today on what I'm doing right now for sustainability. I'm going to address specifically what I'm doing to build new mental pathways that are healthy approaches to food. So obviously I am doing some pretty vicious stuff in terms of breaking down the old pathways, completely giving up food for 10 days so far. That's enough to make all of my old mental pathways, that's, enough to shatter them. But I'm studying what to do with how to approach food correctly. I'm making a good battle plan for what to do when I break the fast. But is there anything I'm doing with my own two hands and my body to actually create new pathways, new habits? So for the last couple of days, I am making food in the morning. This morning I asked all the kids one by one, what do you want for breakfast? And the answers were spaghetti. That was brunch really, at 11 o'clock. Spaghetti, sausage, eggs, cheese, and hot dogs. Pretty cool. So I made breakfast spaghetti with all the ingredients mentioned before, plus some greens and onion and a little salt and pepper, and did it all just the right way and mixed it up perfectly. It was epic. Hello, branch falling from the tree next to me. But it was fun. I enjoy doing that. And through the process, I had to be very mindful of what I was trying to do. I am here to enjoy making and creating food. I'm here to enjoy the aromas and the process of chopping everything up and sauteing it and putting it together and serving it out. And I like that. That's cool. And I was separating it intentionally from the desire to eat it. I accepted up front, I'm not eating it. I am not eating this. I'm here to enjoy making it. And then I sat down at the table for breakfast. Everybody enjoyed it. Actually, they really enjoyed it. That felt good. Everybody was joking around and talking, and people did help with the preparation. So I enjoyed the social interaction in the preparation. I enjoyed the food itself, the making of it. I like the smells. I like the process of putting together something creative. I enjoyed sitting down at the table and enjoying time with my family. And basically, I was exercising how to enjoy food prep and being with my family at table without actually eating, and being okay with that. Teaching my body my brain, that there is great joy and pleasure in the eating experience that doesn't actually involve food. So when I go back to it, the hope is that those pathways will still be there. And I will find much more joy, much more pleasure and satisfaction in the prep, in the aromas, in the social interaction, and that whole process, such that when it's actually time to eat, that's just one piece of that puzzle. Whereas before, I think the vast majority of the pleasure and the good feelings of the whole experience came mostly from actually eating. And I connected everything else to putting the food in my mouth and the sensations that came. Those aren't bad, but they need to be put in perspective like anything else. So I feel like this is doing that. It is work. It takes a lot of mindfulness to do this and not let my mind wander into recidivist and old ways. But I feel like it's really working. So I think when I first started, I said I have really no idea how to make this sustainable. As I give this thought, as I'm mindful, it's coming together. I keep having more ideas, and I'm experimenting, and I'm figuring out how to teach my brain and myself to really handle this right. And I am looking forward to how I break the fast. Right now, I'm planning on breaking the fast, most likely, with onion soup, with probably not a lot of cheese, but just perfect. And that gives me something to look forward to, not to crave, but just say, that'll be a nice reward. It's one of my favorites. So that's what I have for today. Hoping I sleep again really well tonight, and I start, which I probably will, because I don't feel that constant achiness and pain everywhere. And I'm gonna wake up tomorrow, day 11, and I'll be fully energized, and it's just gonna rock. So that's what's gonna happen. I'll check in tomorrow. Thank you, and over and out.